have a pot, we have a pan, we have our oils, we have our spices, if you will, and our salt. Donde or que?
Probably for a lot of chefs, the most important tool we have in a kitchen is the knife we have in our hand for breaking food down and cutting things up and cooking. I mean, for a chef, these are extensions of our body. We use these. Now, my preference is a traditional French chef knife. Now, you don't have to go get a 10-inch, 12-inch traditional French chef knife. I did this for many years as a profession. And so having a large knife that had a large surface area and I could do a lot of work was useful for me. So this is the knife I'm comfortable having in my hand. When you purchase a knife, this is an area I will tell you, spend a little bit of money.
Okay.
Don't go spend a lot of money. You don't have to go buy a $300 and $400 knife.
Okay.
They're nice. It's great to have. I love high quality knives, but also we have to be reasonable with what we're doing.
Right.
We're not professionals in those high end kitchens. So if I go spend $50 on a good chef knife, I've got $250 to spend on a good pot and pan.
Okay.
Spend your money here. A little bit of money here, invest here.
Okay. I have a buddy. He's an excellent, I mean, just a phenomenal with food. Call him, I don't know, gastrologist, chef, whatever you want to call him. And the memory came in. He was like, I just got this knife. He showed it to me. It was beautiful. It looked cool. I thought, he was like, yes, Damascus steel.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, well, you know, I don't even know what that is. But
It's a layered steel.
okay. And it's like, that's not a $50 knife, is it? Well, it was cool looking. Okay, so
Knives, you're going to play with a lot of blade shapes. This is a traditional
I was
French
gonna ask
chef
about
knife.
that.
That is the just traditional knife you're going to see in most of our hands in a kitchen.
Okay.
I also, towards the end of my career, really got to start liking some of the Japanese shaped knives. This is a Tantenko. This became probably my primary knife that I use for the last few years of my career, to the point where you can see the wear on the blade.
right.
For every person, a knife is going to be different. For me personally, I like a balance of a knife. I want to be able to hold a knife and feel it balanced. And I almost don't even care if it has a handle, because I don't ever grab the handle. I grab the blade of my knives, and that's how I work my knives.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Like even in these knives, at least these two, there's like I hope I'm holding it right. There's just like the straight blade, and then there's I don't know what you call these teeth, serrations.
Those are not really serrations per se. Serrations are going to more be points on the blade. That's called a granted edge, and what that is when you're cutting, that prevents the food from sticking to the edge of the knife.
Okay. So
And
it's a
everything.
functional
And
thing.
when we're working at high speeds and everything, that's actually a beneficial thing.
Copy.
And also a little bit safer when we're cutting with the knives. I work knives with both, either or. I like most of my meat slicing knives and things like that to have that granted edge on them. But on my utility knives, I tend not to. I tend to have more of a flat edge on those.
All right. So I use the word serration, but none of these are serrated.
No.
So now a serrated knife is, in my mind, I think of a steak knife. Okay, well, even maybe that's probably not right.
Bread knife.
Okay, why serrations? What is the purpose of serrations?
Well, so for serrations on a steak knife, it allows you to use a little bit of a duller knife for an incident where you may not have confidence in the person holding the knife, I think would probably be the proper way of saying it. Yeah, that's going to
got
cut
plenty
down
of
on
serrated
accidents, especially
knives.
in restaurants and things like that. We'll tend to use a serrated steak knife because we don't want to hand them a really sharp knife.
Right.
That can get dangerous. A bread knife tends to have those serrations because if you have a hard crusted bread, if you're trying to cut it with a smooth edged knife, you're going to smash the bread versus almost sawing through that crust.
Right. Yeah, they're like saw teeth. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So, and again, knives are one of those things that there are 1,000 different shaped knives.
Yes.
Chef's knives, there's Santenkos, Satori, there's paring knives, there's just utility blades, there's slicers, there's choppers,
Right.
there's cleavers, there's all sorts of different shaped knives. You need one good, do-it-all functional knife in a kitchen. You want a French chef knife. That is the go-to. And again, you don't have to get these larger knives like what I use. It's just, for me, that's what I'm comfortable with.
French chef knife. What makes it a French chef knife?
Blade shape.
Blade shape. Okay, so this shape, and then you said something about grabbing. You're going to teach me how to.
We're gonna do some knife skills and everything, and we're gonna learn how to properly use a knife.
Nice.
That is, after you get your equipment, I think that is the next thing, because I think the most important thing is somebody not injuring themselves in the kitchen. If
That's
you hurt
good.
yourself while cooking, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a bad thing, and it's good to not hurt yourself.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Now,
Okay.
when it comes to knives, I'm going to tell you that the quality of the steel of your knife is going to affect the quality of the sharpness of your knife.
Copy.
And you want to get a knife that's going to hold a good edge and stay sharp. Dull knives are very dangerous because dull knives require you to put force behind them when you cut. A sharp knife does the work for you and is far less dangerous.
Copy. Okay. I'm glad you said that because we had some people come over and they were helping us cut something, and I was like, yeah, our knives are not sharp. That was dangerous.
It's a dangerous knife because you have to put force behind it.
Yes.
When you're putting force behind it, now things happen where directions change and things of that nature. I want my knives, sharp is going to be a personal attribute.
Sure.
You know, when I'm a professional chef and I'm in a kitchen and I'm going to be breaking down
Right.
hundreds of pounds of something,
Right.
the sharpness of the knife affects the speed in which I can do it.
Right.
Okay, so we have our knife skills. Ooh. Okay.
The first thing is I've got my French chef knife again. I like to grab the blade, but I'm always going to true my knife on my stone. And what we're going to do is we're going to break an onion down today. Now, onions are great, wonderful. We use them in a lot of different cooking, but there's one problem to an onion, and that is that it is round.
Yes.
And I do not like cutting things that are round. So I've got two ends to an onion. I've got my root end. I've got my stem end.
Okay.
I'm going to take it to where my root and stem end, and I'm going to cut right through both of them. So I'm cutting that onion in half on that bias.
Okay.
And now I've got a flat surface for which to work.
Okay.
I've got something that I can work with on my cutting board that I can control and I'm safe with. I rarely want to cut round vegetables. If I do have to cut them and I need round for the shape of something, the process is going to be very slow.
So
for
what,
this,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, would it be wise to buy not so round onions?
Nope.
Okay.
Buy your onion.
Okay.
They're all round.
Yes.
Whether they're round like a pearl or round
Mm-hmm.
is going to determine the flavor. One's going to be a little bit sweeter, one's going to be a little bit sharper.
Oh man, there's tricks behind every little
Yeah.
thing. Okay,
So
so
once I do this, go ahead.
okay, now you cut it like I'm gonna call that long ways. Why
Mm-hmm.
didn't you cut it flat ways?
This root right here is
Uh-huh.
my friend. It's holding that onion together. I don't want to fight the layers of that onion separating, so I'm going to go back to the stem end and I'm going to take it off, set it aside, and then I'm going to peel my onion paper. However many layers I need to get
Okay.
into fresh onion.
Okay.
I'm going to peel that back,
Okay.
and I'm going to take it back to that root, and it'll sometimes just snap off. Now, if you notice, that root section is holding that onion together for me.
Copy.
I'm not having to fight that onion falling apart.
Man.
So now, if I want to rough chop that onion, I'm going to make some bias cuts such as this through that onion. And then when I cut, I have rough chopped pieces of onion.
Rough chop.
If I want that to be a little bit of a finer dice, I'm going to make
A
those
little tighter.
vertical cuts a little bit closer together through that onion. And now when I slice it, Mother Nature's already done half the work for me. Now I have a little bit of a finer dice to my onion, so you can see the different cuts. If I want it to be even finer than that, I'm going to simply come in here and make some horizontal cuts to my onion, like so. And now I can fine mince some onion. So we see the difference in the three different cuts there.
Right.
And that's just simply by using the natural shape of the vegetable itself. Now when I'm cutting this, what I want to do is I want to have my blade going up and down, and I want to have my fingers matching that up and down. So I want my fingers to be here, and I want my knife to stay in contact with that first knuckle
Okay.
right there. And then as I go through that, never are my fingers in the knife opposing in direction. My fingertips in the direction of my knife are always going the same direction.
Okay.
And actually, I prefer to keep that knife in contact with my finger.
As you're going
I
through.
always know where that blade is. I
Okay.
don't even have to look. I can look away. Don't look away.
I'm not going to look
But
away.
I can look away. But that right there is the simplest way to use a knife and to yield out the results you want. So we have a fine dice, a little bit of a coarse,
Medium,
and then what
and
we
a
call a
rough
rustic cut.
Okay. My turn? Ah! Okay. All the sanitary precautions have been taken. I did go wash my hands. Okay, so I get my onion. I cut it hot dog style, I call it. Then this is the root end. This is the stem end.
Very good.
The root end holds the knife together, the onion together. And so you said now my knuckles need.
Your fingers are pointing the same direction your knife is going.
Okay. And so I'll take off the stem end.
There you go.
Is that enough? I
That's
feel like
enough.
you took off more than I did.
That's fine.
That's,
You're
are you
good.
sure?
Now
Okay.
peel it.
All right, I'm gonna peel. I feel like I didn't take off enough, but it's fine. You said it's okay.
It's a learned skill.
All right, so I didn't take off enough. That's fine. You can say that. Okay, so all right, so then I peel it. Onions are like, wait, ogres are like onions. They stink. Okay, now, is that one more layer?
I would take one more layer of onion paper off.
Okay, cause is that gross? Like, does it taste bad?
It's just not going to have the flavor and the maturity that the inner core of the onion is going to. Very good.
Okay.
Now you can pop that off with your hand, or
Or-
we can take the knife and cut it off. Either work.
Okay, I'm gonna work on my knife skills.
There you go. Work on your knife skills and
Alright.
just make a nice cut right through the center of that. There you go. So we've maintained that root structure, which is going to hold that onion together for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now as you're cutting, it's going to be a little bit easier to work with.
Okay,
So determine if you want a rough chop.
rough chop. Oh wait. Okay, so. Okay, chef. Like this.
That works.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then.
There you go. You're moving your knife around the curvature of
Right.
the onion. Very good.
Thank you, sir. I learned from
Alright.
the best. Okay, well, you want more?
One more.
Okay.
Now, if you do a couple of cuts on there you go on the
All right.
horizontal aspect of the onion,
Okay.
and you can move that knife farther back or farther in to determine the size of the
How
cut you
fat?
want. There
Okay.
you go.
So these are my rough chops.
Those are your rough chops.
Oh, that's rough. Look at those rough chops,
Yep.
folks. Okay. So that's my rough chop,
Mm-hmm.
and I would use that for a number of different.
What dish are you making? You determine
Sure.
what you want. You know,
Sure.
if I'm making a sauce or something, I'm putting
Right.
onions. I'm going for a super fine mince. I'm going to chop it. If I'm making a chili or a stew,
Right,
I
big
want
fat
chunks.
chunks.
Yeah, you know, that's
Okay.
kind of so.
I like to throw onions in my eggs, scrambled eggs sometimes. So would that be a rough or like a medium? It doesn't matter. Whatever I like.
It's the chef's choice, man. What
Okay.
you like to eat is what you get to make. That's when
Okay.
you understand the control.
Okay.
There you go. Make some
Alright.
more bias cuts.
All right. So this is gonna be for
There
my
you go. Now you're going to get
finer.
a much finer.
Uh-huh.
You'll control it. There you
Uh-huh.
go.
Okay.
All right. Now make those same cuts and even a little bit thinner.
Thinner. Okay. So that
Little
means
bit
close to
finer,
the edge.
yeah.
Uh oh. Do I have to hold it together?
Well, what you
Or-
want to do here is
Uh-huh.
mainly, I want to keep my hand
Okay.
like this. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
controlling it on the cutting board. I'm not really keeping it together. Yeah, those ends are going to flare out as you see on mine. That's just a natural thing of it.
Right, right.
So yeah, you can hold those, but I'm not really worried about it. We're not doing pretty things here. We're having fun in the kitchen.
Okay.
There you go.
Alright.
Fingers are turned back so they're never in that knife.
Okay. That is my medium cut, and we'll be back because we have our eggs to get. Okay. Awesome.